everyone, it's Diabetic Danica, and today I have a quick story time for you. So, my life has been a little crazy lately. I've been working a lot, it's been really busy at work, and then I also went on a week-long trip away where I was pretty much in a new place every night, and then I got back and I worked right away again. So, it's been a little crazy, and when I got back, I was going to work, and after I finished up my 3 night shifts, I noticed my blood sugar started to spike. And it was spiking to 300 something. I'll put the conversion on the screen. And then it wasn't coming down with correction. Like, it would start to come down and then it would go like this, and then it would start to come down, then it would go like this and like spike up again. And I was just like, that's weird. And then, not to be TMI, but I started my time of the month and I was like, oh, okay, that must be what it is. I run a lot higher in my numbers when I am on my period. So I just bumped up my insulin. I usually do a positive basal, so I give more basal insulin over time. So I think I did like plus 20%, and lo and behold, it still wasn't working. I was still running generally like 300s. Sometimes my CGM was just saying hi, and I was like, this is so weird. So I bumped it up to plus 40%. And in the midst of all this, I was catching up on sleep, catching up on life, and pretty distracted, and then my sensor had come off and I didn't replace it right away, and so I wasn't aware of how high my blood sugar had been for so long, because by the time I checked again, I was like, wow, how am I still like 300 something? So I was trying to troubleshoot, and I was like, what the heck? Like, this is a really new set. It wasn't an old one by any means. And I figured it must just be insulin insensitivity because of the hormones during this time of the month. So I was just adding amounts to my boluses, adding to my basal, and it wasn't budging. Well, it would budge sometimes. Like, I was super high, I like super bolused and gave a lot of basal, and it did come down and actually went low, and I was like, great, so clearly my set works, the insulin works, we're good, I'm just super insensitive. But then it shot right back up, and I figured that was just a rebound from eating too much for the low. But then once again, I was staying up there, so it took me like 1.5 to 2 days-ish to figure out what had actually happened, because I got sick of it and I changed my set, even though the other one was pretty new, and I pulled out the old one. I looked at it, it wasn't kinked or anything like that, so I was like, okay. So with the new set, I still wasn't coming down like I should have been. And then boop, little light bulb came on in my head, and I was like, wait 1 second. I realized that I made a very big mistake when I was traveling. And this has never happened to me, I don't think. No, not really. It never has. Usually, I put all my diabetes supplies in my carry-on. All of them. That way, if your checked bag is lost, you never lose your supplies. And on this trip, I didn't have any checked bags. I just had my roller carry-on and my backpack carry-on. However, I was flying Alaska Airlines, and they have this awesome thing called a la carte, where when you go out to the plane, you're walking out, they have a little cart you can leave your bags on to make extra room, like in overhead bins and stuff. So I did that, not even thinking that this is a carry-on bag that has my insulin in it. So I thought about this after I tried everything else. I was like, it must be the insulin. The insulin was in a bag in a part of the plane where people aren't, and so guess what? It's probably not temperature controlled, and when you go up, up, up in the sky in an airplane, the temperature goes down, down, down. So yeah, I was like, shoot, I can't believe I did that. Because obviously I know not to put insulin in my checked bag, but I didn't even think that like this carry-on bag is being a checked bag right now, technically, sort of, kind of. And if only that insulin had been in my backpack, which was still with me, it would have still been fine. But luckily it was only 1 vial, but it was a brand new vial, and I realized after my night shifts, after I got home and I worked my night shifts, I had run out of insulin in my pump, and so I grabbed that new vial, popped off the orange top, and filled up my pump, and that is when my numbers went high. So ding, 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 mystery solved, Detective Danica is on the case, and I figured it out. So I'm glad I figured it out. I wish I would have been a little more proactive about figuring that out sooner, but like I said, I had a lot going on, and sometimes life can just get in the way, which I'm sure you all know. So once I realized that it was clearly the insulin, I got a new vial, I got a syringe just to make sure it got in really quickly, and drew up some very fresh insulin that had not been in a plane. in a plain cargo bin, and I gave a shot and I came right down, and yay. Ideally, I would have tried to give a shot earlier, and then I could have seen that it was the insulin sooner, because if I drew up from that vial and gave a shot and I still didn't come down, I might have figured out sooner that it was the insulin, but honestly I might not have, because I still thought I was having just like insulin insensitivity. So anyway, it was just a mix of things that made it hard to figure out at first, but I'm glad I figured it out. So night before last, I was up all night because my CGM was going off every 2 hours for a high blood sugar. Last night I was up every 2 hours pretty much, even more frequently than that I feel like, for low blood sugar. So it went the opposite way for some reason. I don't know why, because my basals are fine, they've been fine. But once I got that new insulin that was like actually working, I was like, pew! So either way, it's a loss of sleep, but I'm just happy that my numbers have come down. So that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon with a new video. And don't forget to not put your luggage in the cargo part of a plane, even if it's a la carte. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye! Also, don't forget to like me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and Snapchat. I am DMarieIsMe on there, and you can like me on Facebook at Diabetic Danica. Alright, love you guys. Bye! Hope you enjoyed this quick little mystery story. Mystery solved.